Alrighty. Doc here from North America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Let's see, do we have sound? It's Happy to Hump Day. It's Wednesday. Hooray, hooray. Let's see. Do I have sound? I see I'm up. Okay. Oh, I see what it is. It's a commercial, so I can't hear right now. Okay, that's what it is. All right, anyway, here we go. I see everything updating and ticking, so I'm sure you are hearing the sounds. We have that's gold. We were looking at the contango yesterday right before we left for the day. That was kind of interesting. Let's see what it looks like today on the contango. Let's see if we have sound again. Yeah, let's see. Let's take a look at what the contango looks like. We're looking at the August gold. Let's go there. Wrong one. Let's see, and then we'll go back to the euro. How about that cable? Alrighty. Cable showing its stripes. Little buying in there. Let's see. Gold. That's oil. I saw the headline yesterday. It cracked me up. Oil slides. Goes from 39 to 37 and a half or something like that. It slides. It's sliding. Okay. It's in a kids pool on a sliding board. What is up with that? Okay, so 1729, as you can see right there. Let's see if we move this down a little bit like that. There we are. 1729, you can see. And let's see. And you can see on Dukascopy we have there's the cash. So the cash is trading at 1722. So $7 carry. So we've seen this carry now slip all the way down to $2.50, back up to 5.6. Now it's hanging around the sevens, but nothing too dramatic. Again, that always represents the illiquidity of one side versus the other. So in other words, there's way more. At this point, there's obviously more buyers than there are sellers, and that's how that is what that usually represents. Market makers have to widen their bids and offers to be able to just break even. As people think they're robbing them. It's like, yeah, when someone says they want to buy X amount and you've got to sell it, then if you don't sell it to them, you kind of get in trouble about that. And then at the same time, the customer goes away and you lose business. So the only way they can do is keep competitive by keeping their bids and offers like with the rest of the market, the other brokers out there, solely because the supply and demand is more on one side of the boat versus the other side of the boat. And that's what it comes down to. Ever since derivative, we've talked about this over and over and over again around here, and that is ever since the legalization of listed options. What it has done is it's removed the zero-sum factor. And so since the zero-sum factor has been removed, someone who is buying doesn't necessarily mean they want to be long. Means that someone selling short doesn't mean that they're actually trying to be short in their overall position. And so, it confuses the market and it increases the physical size. And so brokers have a really hard time. So, the commercial brokers, the brokerage houses that you go to open an account, they have a really hard time supplying inventory to you without increasing the bid and offer wide. And that's how that works there. All right, so we see the contango. We can drift from that. We'll take a look at gold a little bit later. Since no one's asking any questions, we will drift back to the euro. Euro on the wall. There it is in the magic mirror of the 21st century, or the computer screen, or the screen, or the telephone screen, or the tablet screen, or the laptop screen. You can see right there, trading in the 113s, the mid-high 13s, the euro, as many would say, why? Where's the fundamentals? Those fundamentals, we don't use fundamentals. We don't need no stinking fundamentals. There is no such thing as fundamentals because markets are disturbed by inefficient governments who have allowed interest rates to go minus, and public funds who are supposed to be protected, or they're supposed to be protecting the investors. The agencies do not protect them. Instead, they cheer on the wild and woolly Wild West of no hedge or ensuring success. we're insuring the portfolio. Any one of those, Doc can swing away at it in any different way. And so what you have here now is you have the euro right there, moving up, and you can see on. Oh, let's go to the fact check sheet of us on our Excel. That's the fact check sheet, and in our math, when we look at Chicago Quant, my old algorithm there. Let's widen that out so you can see it better. And as you can see there, we have been in, that's gold. We're going to go back to euro again. Right there. We have been in a daily buy since like way back here. Why isn't there a little green line? What is up with that? Right there, you can see on the spreadsheet, we're looking at 11 days now in a daily buy. So like all the way back to here. Let's find that line. Where's my line? Where is the line? So I know it's, oh, there we are. Okay, we can go there and we'll put the line in. It was there yesterday. And why is it pink now? Oh well, must have been using something as an example somewhere. Oop, going too far. And end result was we lost. So I know I restarted the computer. So there it is right there. That's where we went into the buy. And the spreadsheet, our fact check sheet that covers the facts all the time, recordedly, right there, matching up to the charts. Robin, what's happening? Good night's sleep? I hope so. Let's see. What else can we say about all this? The euro itself has been firm. You can see all those green dots. You can see our algorithm climbing through, all the way up. You can go over here on the J4X. You can see the solid line playing the high end of the range and over the dashed and the rate of change. And then you can see here it kind of stumbled a little bit, and now it's just climbing back up again. So you can see there, look at that, 71 now. This thing is just zippity doo dot, and that's the reason why we don't see it there either. Let's go to euro. There we are. There's Mr. and Mrs. Euro. There it is, right there. There's the buy signal. We had NASCAD up there. NASCAD. Excellent. Glad to hear that. So what we see now is that we see the euro, which since we don't need no stinking fundamentals, we just do algos. Math away. You can see the strength has been there, and it's confirmed, and it keeps on doing it, and it's going up, and there's not much more we should say about that. All right, now let's drift over to cable, and there's cable right there. Cable's doing the same exact thing. You see the little green line there. Let's see if we can move this down. It's the weekly. I don't know why weekly's so big, but move that down a little bit like that. There's the daily. You can see it's been marching along real well. Same thing. We're in a weekly buy. I think we need to move that over. What are we, 2 weeks in a weekly buy now? Something like that. Let's see. Go over to line 13. Yep, 2 weeks in a weekly buy there. So we changed the color of that to green. There we are. And you can see it's been marching its way up. We're in the 27s, heading for the 28s. Let's check that out on Dukascopy. We talked about this. We looked at those lows, back a few months ago. Here it goes. And we'll be able to point them out here. Scrunch it up. There was the channel that we've been watching. It broke the bottom. A lot of these major currency pairs played a channel for about almost like 6 to 8 weeks, something like that. And then they all made their little dash in the wrong direction and then took off. And we're seeing the same thing here on the cable. And you can see also, solid line way above everything else, leading the pack there. You can see a dash underneath it, and you can see the rate of change even further below. So it's just been, it's just telling us you follow the solid line there, the solid gold line. It kind of marches north, or yellow, whatever color you want to consider that. And that's where we're at now. It's just hanging around in there. Let's see who else and what else is going on. Let's take a look at what else can we say about the cable. I guess that's about it. The cables, I guess the some keep on saying they expect to see like weaker dollar or something like that. Traders, ask your questions. We're here for you. I like that. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Push it. One of the things I find that's really clear is that the markets, especially the pairs trades and the dollar side of the pairs trades, the markets are trying to loosen up a little bit, trying to sell the dollar down. It should be sold down. It's a little too high. It's definitely way firmer than most of us here want it. I guess until as Doc is constantly saying, when the world feels more comfortable economically and more laws are passed to make commerce more successful, you see more initial public offerings, you see competition. When you see that, you're going to see a weaker dollar. You're going to see a stronger pairs trades. And I think that's how it really works. Yesterday I was having a conversation with an old friend from the exchanges. We spent the day together, and and one of the things that came out in the final end of it all was the initial public offerings. We rarely see them nowadays. I've mentioned it here about the Wilshire 5000. Only has something like 3,700 companies in it now. They haven't been able to replace the 1,300 who have merged and been bought out, that type of thing. And that's really what the problem is the inventory is low, and there's not a lot of competition. Brussels is doing nothing to enhance competition or creativity or discovery or evolution or advancement in commerce, none of that. And because of that, you see people saying, why isn't the euro trading at 80 instead of 113? But at this point, the central banks have kept a channel where the different currency pairs can stay at a certain level. It's all part of the supporting and stabilizing the world markets and the marketplaces in general. And every time I see a headline by somebody who supposedly knows the financial industry and complains about like the Federal Reserve has disrupted this, or the government has, well, they never blame the government. They love the government. But that's what the problem is it's not the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve is doing what its job was. Woodrow Wilson created the Federal Reserve to stabilize markets without private investors anymore. And that's where we're at now. That was what the government objective was from the beginning. That was the whole idea, is to get rid of J.P. Morgan and Vanderbilt and anybody else from Rockefeller and any of the other well-heeled financial people, and not allow them to have the power to help an economy get off its feet when investment disappeared. And so now that's the job of the central banks across the planet. And some people in the financial industry just don't understand that. And it's really sad. I mean, why do they even have a license? Why are they giving advice to people, when they come out with outlandish concepts that make no sense? So that's where we're at. That's why we see a weaker dollar. We believe that we're going to see better times. We believe we're going to see the European Union become a little bit more efficient. We're going to see the British government more efficient. We're going to see other governments across the planet more efficient for capitalism, pro-capitalism, pro-business, pro-discovery, pro-evolution, pro-growth, pro-productivity. And when you see that, you're going to see a weaker dollar. And the dollar is only strong because this is the last place, or the best place, for those things at the moment. Okay, now let's jump over to Turkish lira, one of our favorite things to follow. It's followed the math incredibly well. A little weakness there, as you can see, just as we start off on the Dukascopy chart. And you can see it there on line 17 on our spreadsheet, the fact check spreadsheet, measuring and counting every word we've said here in a numerical value. So we've been saying that you should be long it for the last 27 weeks, and it says that you should be definitely long it overnight for the last, let's put it this way, don't be short for the last 27 weeks. That's what it's telling you right there. And it's a long signal. We moved it over to the sell side. I've never been able to do that. How about that? Never done that before. So let's do that and put it back there. So that's what it's saying there. And then it says over the last 4 days overnight, you could be long. And there it is on J4X, as you can see. And it's been going up for the last 4 days, just as much as it's been in a downwardly slope for the last couple of weeks. Not enough to damage our long signal back here, right there. And so we use the dailies to basically tell you when to not be long anymore, to be flat, but not to be short. And if you want to take a short out of it, then you have to move up to the next level of sophistication of trading with our math. And that's a much more intense game. You're welcome to it. We're always willing to provide it. And there you are. That is the Turkish lira. And you can see here on our quant page right there, same situation. It's been in a weekly buy like way back. Oh, no, it's not. That's cable still. Let's go to Turkish lira right there. And it's been in a weekly buy all the way back here, just like that on the J4X. Same thing. Been in a buy for a long while. And you can see the trend has been up. The general trend has been up. And even with this weakness here, it doesn't want to break the big giant trend, which is really, really wild. I mean, how scary is that for people who live in Turkey? I mean, they have to be going, Doc, when's Doc going to go into a sell? When is all our commerce going to be, easier financially? Food and milk and so forth, all prices have been raised somewhere along the line. Foods and clothing. If the price of the currency goes up like that, it costs them more to purchase things. And that makes it tough. How is silver today? Okay, let's take a look at silver. And there's silver on J4X. Let's see. It's firm. I think we're in a sell, aren't we? Weekly buy, daily sell? Yeah. We have been in a sell for, there it is right there on line 9. We have been in a weekly sell for 10 weeks. So you can see, obviously, the trend has been up. And at the same time, over the last 5 days, it's been in a sell since it did that little topping out thing. And when we go over to J4X, not there, there. Right there. As you can see right there, it's been in a buy since the little green line there. And you can see J4X has been moved up with that. We've gone into some type of stall here. You can see all the lines turning down and going down and testing the lows. And our work did the same thing. Topped out, tested lows, went through the time manifold. Now it's come back up. Looks like it's going into a daily buy today. Actually, it looks like yesterday it went into a daily buy, doesn't it? Now I'm a little confused there. Let's take a look at that. How did I have it in a sell for 5 days? So it's been in a daily. Let's widen this out so we can see this. And I saw that last night. Something was wrong with it, but I was just too busy to check it again. So you can see there, it wasn't a buy, and I thought, oh, it's got to be in a sell, and I don't know what I looked at, and I looked at the wrong thing. So we can move that off of there, can't we? And we can go 2. So it's a 2 in a buy. There's the fact sheet being accurate again, following the charts. The fact sheet follows the charts. And we don't always look at the silver. Sometimes we go weeks without anybody asking about silver. Not a lot of questions really overall. So that is what it is there. Then, hold on 1 second, traders. Just give me 10 seconds. We'll be right back. Sorry about that. Had to take care of that. So now, where are we there? Okay. So, yeah, so we fixed the silver. And I am a little perplexed how it got a 5 in there. I guess it would be nice if someone would ask me more often about looking at silver. Don't ask me how it got a 5 in there. Obviously, my stupid fingers, of course. But I'm not sure why. Because the chart right there that we look at every day, is telling us up. So, not sure what that's all about. All right, now, let's see. Let's take a look at gold. Let's see if I'm wrong on gold, too, then. So, gold has... Maybe that's what it was. I was doing the gold. Remember that. I'm putting the 5 in there. And I could have sworn I saw gold move up in the... Oh, where'd it go? I could have sworn I saw gold move up into a buy at one point. And where did my... Oh. Let's go like that. Whoa, there it goes. That's way too big. Let's see. So we have to... Oh, I somehow now shrunk that down. How about that? Yeah, so I saw gold yesterday. Let's go find it. Right there. As you can see, gold is saying it's 5 days in a sell. 10... Where's it at? And oh, went into a weekly sell last week. That's what it was. That's what it was with gold. Let's go look at that. So, right there. Right there. There we are. As you can see there on the... Oh, okay. Now, gold did make it into the buy last night. All right. Okay, so it's a 1 now. That's what happens when you play hooky. All right. Right there. It's in a 1 day and a buy. But what it did is last week it went into the sell here. So we should have our little cute pink line there. Where can we put that? Right there. Right there. Right there. So it went into the sell there last week. And that's why we're 1, and I guess we're 1 at this point. And so what you see here is it's trying to lift up again. And we did see that contango trading in the $6.5, $7 area. And I guess the metals are coming back. Went into the sell here. I guess we move this. We can leave that there. We'll move the buy, the older buy in there. So we'll go like that. And there's the buy. And when we go over to J4X again, right there, you can see how gold is definitely firm. It's trying to go up, that's for sure. Now 22, basically almost 23 offer with a 29 offer on the futures contract. So you have about a $6 contango there. Seems like it's shrinking down or something like that. And you see here it's battling to go up on J4X. And what else can we say about this? I guess not much. The weekly buy number is 1706.50. Oh, okay. That's answering a lot of questions there. Okay, so... Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't put the weekly sell number in on silver. Let's do that. Let's go find silver's weekly sell number. All right, let's go over to that machine. Spin the wheel. Watch it calculate. It's always fun to watch machines calculate. All right, we're looking at 1762. 1762 is the weekly sell number there. Okay. So that makes sense. And we're 2 days in the daily buy. Is that right? Yeah, okay, that's right. Yeah, because somehow or another it was the 5. There was 5s in both of the wrong places. Don't ask me how that happened. And so you can see here it's holding up, lifting up. And for the gold, that is. And the same thing here. So I guess with the metals market, I guess, I'm always a little perplexed about, if you had told me the circumstances we're in, I've said this many a times during the webinars, if you had told me the circumstances, central banks, the activities, how much they're involved, how much money's being lent by the central banks to hold up, or not hold up, but stabilize, well, hold up too, stabilize and hold up basically that right there alone would have said to me that, you know, we see like, you know, the prices of Bitcoin should be the prices of gold. But I don't see that, which is really odd, you know. How does GDX look? Is that the ETF you want to see? Or is it gold to gold itself? I think that's an index, right? GDX? Let me just look and see. I don't... GLD is the ETF, I think. I'm hunting right now for it. Let's see. GDX. 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 I'm almost dead sure that's a an index here in the States. GDX. GDX Holdings. It's an ETF. I thought it was an ETF. It's trading at $33 a share. And it's an ETF. Is that what you're looking at? We can take a look at that. We can actually probably get it up on our machine. I think I might even have it in there. Let's see if we can find it. GDX. Let's see. Where do we go for that? Let's go to... I guess the one that we have the TVIX on. There's Tesla. We can do it where the diamonds. Any one of these we can make a copy of. Oh no, I think we were just comparing that. That's what that is. And let's see. We'll find somewhere to put it, and we'll find it. GDX. Let's see. I'm just trying to find one of the stock ETF. We can use diamonds. Let's see if we can use diamonds. Doesn't have the weekly though. See, I want to find one of those that has a weekly. Let's see if the DAX has a weekly, because that's an ETF. There you go. So let's make a copy of that, and we'll put GDX in there. Yeah, I follow Nugget, and Nugget can at times be way off of the metals itself. And I watched GLD. Same situation. Did I do that right? Let me just double check. No. Okay. Make a copy of it again. Copy. And paste. There we are. And we will, Levon, we will, answer your question. Jiminy Crick. Jiminy Crick. Okay, now, let's put that in there. And there we go. Instrument. There's so many forms of gold, ways of dealing with gold. GDX. Yeah, see, it's in there already. See? Yeah, I used to follow that at one time. I forget why I moved away from it, but we moved away from it, and then we went to GLD. That became like the most popular ETF. And then I went to Nugget, NUGT. And that has become very popular. Probably somebody asked me to do it, because I don't really pay attention to these things too much. Okay, so... Oh, wait a minute. Both of these are... yeah, okay. We go close. Alright, so you can see here Nugget. We'll make this a little bit bigger since we can't get it on J4X. Let's go like that. And then we'll compare it to Spot and just see the relationship between GDX and Spot. So you can see there, It's been in a daily buy, just basically going into it today. Well, yeah. What's interesting is you see we have a red dot and we have everything plus but the red dot, so we don't buy it. But by the end of the day on this one, we definitely buy it since 2 of the days have gone by there. There's another little rule we could put in there. And then you can see it's firm today again. Now you can see here at the same time, which is really curious, it's playing with the weekly sell number right there. So you've got this thing matching up with gold of last week, but it's also now lifting. So they're both trying to lift back up. Maybe this will turn back up again. You can see where it went into the weekly buy back here at 30. You can see the thing climbed all the way as high as like 36 or 37, 37 and a half in the weekly buy. You can see the red dots kicked out. We went into a daily sell right here for, I don't know, what's that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days or something like that. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 days, because it was a red and green, so we don't take the long there. And the next day, the rules showed that it was back into the sell fully. And so, if you're not, you can't be long it, and it's hard to be short it since you're in a weekly buy. So it's kind of like a neutral position. So then you can see here it's trying to turn up. It's going into the weekly sell at the same time. That's really weird. So, Levon, did that help out any? So right now, it's telling us that it's a very confused product. It's trying to go into a daily buy, but it is also trying to roll into a weekly sell. Now let's put it up against the spot. Let's do this. See if we can move that up. There we go. Okay, now let's take a look at the spot right there like that. And just a little bit widening more like that. You can see here, it does seem to follow the spot very well. Made the peak basically the same time period. Climbed in the buy, so forth and so on. So you can see that the underlining product, it is following the other underlining product, which is gold itself. So I hope that was a help. Let's drift over to, unless you have any other questions, we'll drift over to, where did we leave off? We were doing Turkish lira, right? So we'll go to Canadian. So it's not exactly telling you to be enormously bullish. It's not telling you to be bearish. It's just telling you to be standing to the side. That's just on a day-to-day basis. And weekly, it might actually be telling us that it's topping out. We'll see if it confirms that on Friday. All right. Now, let's head over to Canadian. Right there. You can see it's a little weaker again today. Where are we in that product? That's line 20. We go to the fact check sheet. And we're 3 weeks in a sell. And we are 11 days in a sell. This thing has been telling us to be only one way, and that is basically flat out short for 11 days now. And as you can see, I would consider that a downtrend, wouldn't you, over the last 11 days? Let's see. Wrong one. We'll go to there. Dookie week, day and week. Right there. So it's been a daily sell since there, and a weekly sell since there. So an ETF, yeah. You got it all? Excellent, excellent. You have any other questions? You be my guest. Ask. I'm here for answering. I love talking about the markets, and I love whining about, bad processes in the markets. But more than that is I love to answer questions solely because sometimes we find trades out of them. Remember, we're in a proactive universe now. We're not standing on a trading floor and people are coming to us and saying, knocking and saying, hey, I'd like to buy this or buy that at your front door. Everybody's in a proactive state. You have to not react anymore. You have to be aggressive and figure out what to do. And you know what? When people ask questions about different products, sometimes they actually instigate some brilliant ideas. So I'm happy. Fire out more questions as far as I'm concerned. All right, now, where are we at? Canadian. That's right. So, not much more to be said there. Weekly sell, daily sell. You know, it's just sliding away. Okay. Now let's drift over to the Swiss francs right there. And Mr. and Mrs. Swiss franc are trading. Let's double check that right now. Oh, still down again. Now, where is that? That is line 21. 2 weeks in a sell. 4 days in a sell on the fact check sheet. And you can see there, they're pushing it even more. You know, what a great central bank they have. A lot of great organizational structure there. So, I guess, does that make the currency more expensive? Let's see, it's going down against the dollar. So the dollar, I can buy more. I can buy more saltines. So, Swiss saltines. So let me think. So I guess the dollar is firming up against it. Now that seems odd, doesn't it? Because like the dollar is becoming more expensive against all the other pairs trades. But it is a tight range. So, I mean, it's, you know, I guess what's happened is, I guess money was parked there like money's parked in the dollar. So it's going down like the dollar is going down. And in these two, I guess obviously the dollar is, they're selling, not only are they selling the dollar, but they're selling, or they're putting more pressure on this one. Now, where do we go from here? Let's see. We are looking at, let's see. So we go to yen, I guess. That would be smart. We can take a look at dollar yen. Right there. Dollar yen, obviously down today. That is line 19 right there. We are 3 weeks in a buy. We need to be below 106.98. You can see we are trading at, Dukascopy shows us that we're at 107.27. We have not, what's our low today? 107.62. Something's wrong there. What am I looking at? The wrong thing there. Wrong day? Oh, okay, there it is. 107.25, almost 26. So we're down at the lows. You can see J4X and everything else is rolling over. When we go over to our quant, let's see, this is probably the same thing, just like J4X. See? Moving down. We are on the spreadsheet 2 days in a daily sell. So the pressure's been on there. I don't think we have a little red dot lines. We need to move that little red dot line over like that. There we are. And so it's been in a daily sell. You can see the weekly is trying to bang through it. The histogram has broken through it once today. So we'll keep an eye on that. Before you know it, we might be in a weekly sell since it's gotten down into that area. And let's see, what else are we looking at here? We're looking at, let's see, I guess we normally see the dollar go down. We usually see the yen go down. And, we seem to have seen some type of recoil in the yen as the dollar's been being pushed down now for like 4 weeks. And matter of fact, we should look at the UUP because that's the dollar index, and maybe it is pushing into a sell finally. You can see here UUP is, or the oh no, they're already in a sell. Okay, so yeah, see, it's been in a sell. Let's take a look at the UUP, the dollar index itself, and see. I guess that says it all right there. It is going down, but let's go find it and take a look. Let's see, right there. UUP right there. It's probably aiming down. Yeah, it's scrolling down. Same thing. In a cell, moving down. Lots of red dots. A lot of pressure on it. You can see it better that way. Like I said, we've been looking for a weaker dollar for a while now because I just cannot believe that other countries will not get involved with the world economy and start to just become better not better places, but at least some places to try to invest in again. I mean, that's all it really comes down to is money's running away from them. Okay. Let's roll over to... We usually go to like NASCAD from here. If anybody has anything they want to look at, just give us a yell and we'll jump to it. But what we do is we go NASCAD because now we can look at oil. This... We were talking. Who was it yesterday? Someone gave us an indication. What was it? Matter of fact, we changed our fact check sheet, the Excel sheet, and put the product in there. It was euro. Matter of fact, we should go look at that before. After we do this, we're going to look at euros. What was it? It correlates to the stock market. Someone told us that they see a correlation between the euro Aussie pairs trade and the S&P 500. Oh, no problem, Levon. No problem. And so that was really interesting. To a point, we changed the spreadsheet. And so this particular pairs trade, the NASCAD, does the same thing with oil. So, matter of fact, we usually have oil at the bottom of this, but lately this is a full chart, so it's the weekend day. So, let's see. How do we do this? Let's take a look at, you see this, this is, oh, that's UUP. So let's go look at NASCAD. Matter of fact, let's do this. Let's put oil in there too. While I'm on that particular tab. Right there. And go over to J4X. Right there. You can see there, a little firmness, almost flat for the day. But a lot of tail on that, so it was down. But then when you go look at it on J4X, it means like it's not even taking out yesterday's lows. So like, how can anybody really be paranoid or nervous, you know? Now, what we see is that, you know, a little downslope starting just a couple days back, and there it is there. Okay, so I saw at one point today it was actually minus, and it's bounced back up again, and we got green dots still. Now let's look at NASCAD. And NASCAD is in a weekly buy. That is line 23, is it? Line 24. 3 weeks in a buy, 11 days in a buy. And you can see the upwardly power of this. Then when you look at oil underneath it, look at that. Same gig going on. Let's scroll up a little bit. Oil has been in a daily buy for 8 days right there and 5 weeks. So on the fact check sheet, you can see the strength that's been there. And you can see how these two march along together a lot. And so I guess when you start to see one break away from the other, you know, we're trying to use it as like some type of indication that something's going to change. And that's why we do that. Now, in the scheme of things, oh, you know what? Did I put the weekly in there on that? Let's put the weekly in there too. Oh, did I do it in the yen too? Let's see, where am I at? There. Okay, anyway, let's go do oil since I got it in front of me. Crude oil, 34.74 is the sell. 34.74. Where's my mouse? 34. No, not 1. 34.74 is the weekly sell number. Hasn't even remotely made any, you know, direction towards that whatsoever. So, and you can see, you know, it's just kind of, now it's minus again a little bit. It was plus. When you look at this, the last couple of days, the real selling was yesterday. And it didn't go into a sell in the end result. It was even an up candle. So it was a combination of both. And you can see here, you know, it's trying to lift. It's trapped in between at the moment. You know, so it's not below the rate of change, but it is below the dots, and that's why it's kind of gone into the sideways action there. Or the dashes, that is. All right. Now, let's see. How do we do this next? Let's see. Now, let's go take out one of our new pals. That is the line 20. Is it right? line 23. And it is the Euro and Aussie, okay, or Aussie and Harriet. Well, yeah, Euro and Aussie. And so we go to the daily spin right there. Let's see if we can find it on here. See, Euro and Aussie. There it is right there. And then we go over here and check it out. Euro and Aussie. But you know what we're going to do instead of going to the Euro and Aussie on here? We're going to go to the S&P 500. Right there. And then we're going to take a look at the Euro and Aussie, the way it's been acting. Look at it. It's trying to perk up. It's let's widen this more for you so you can see it. It's better vision on J4X. So let's move that over. That's where the buy is there. So went into the... Oh, wait a second. What is that? Yeah, so let's just double check to make sure we have the right thing since we just put this in yesterday. Yeah, Euro Aussie, Euro Aussie. Let's check the internals there. Euro Aussie, Euro Aussie. Excellent. Okay. All right, so now you can see it has not gotten into a buy. It's playing with its buy. That's what it is. It's above, must be above the buy number there. Is it a buy number? No, it's not above it either. So, is it? Do we have it? Where is it at? Let's see, 24. No. 25. 23. Okay, yeah, 164. So it's in a sell still. So, you know, we can leave that pinkish thing, make it pinkish again. Hasn't really climbed into, it hasn't even gotten above. There we are. So it's still in its sell. We'll just leave that there, reminding everybody. Now, on a daily basis, you can see here it's 5 days in a sell also. And you got a red and green dot. So it tried to climb up into the buy yesterday, and now it's trying to roll over again. I see. Look at that. At the end of the day, I didn't see that. It went into a daily buy. So we can take this sell, move that over to that. Can we? Oh, no. I'm looking at the wrong thing there. The white line is still below it. So it's still in a sell. That's what's going on there. Okay, I'm not sure what I use that blue dotish thing. Let's see if we can find style and just turn that off. I was playing around with that. There we are. Let's see if it was a good trailer. You can see the histogram went plus yesterday, but the white line did not. That's what it is. And when they're trying to do all three today, you can see there's strength in here, but it needs to get up at least, you know, up into the high threes to get near the buy number. And we're at where now? 162.28. So we're like much lower. Now, Aussie, Euro Aussie. Supposedly, what happens is when this goes down, this product is going down, the stock market is going up. It works in inverse relationship, not like the what's that one? The NASCAD and oil. This one works as an inverse. When the market goes up, this goes down, and when this goes down, the market goes up. And that's what we see right now. And you can see this here, the Aussie New Zealand. Is it Aussie New Zealand? Euro New Zealand. Euro Aussie. That's what it is, Euro Aussie. You can see the Euro Aussie is playing around with the buy area. And what are we seeing in the stock market? We're seeing a little correction at the same time. So this is going to be very interesting. We're going to follow this for you know, a few months and see how that really works out. But so far, looking back, yesterday, I think we did during the webinar, we went and looked at it for like, I don't know, 3 or 4 months or 5 or 6 months. It was very interesting how it actually did match up. So that's what we're going to follow. We're going to check this out every day, which is a really cool thing. And so the weakness or the strength we're seeing in it right now is indicative of the weakness, as you can see on J4X, of the S&P 500. And you can see it here. You know, rate of change has dropped. It's you can see the solid, fast stochastic and that is the slow, right? Yeah. And so you can see that is trying to turn up, but it's still below the dotted line. Dotted line lags, and that's what it's supposed to do. The solid line is the leader, and you can see here it's trying to. But with that little turn up today, and I think the stock market is lifting back up a little bit. It was. I think it's minus again today. Oh no, it's up for the day. It's actually up for the day. So the markets are up, and so that's perfect example of this product. And that's what we're going to do is check it out and see how it goes. All right, now that we finished that, what else do we have to chase after? We've got plenty of time for some questions if anybody has a question. What a thin day today is. Very thin. Trying to think what else. You're going to take off? Okay. Take the 20 on the table. Yeah, but the dinner was so crazy. Peace. All right. Take care, Sam. All right. So that's where we are. We're seeing the rest of the market trying to make its move. So why don't we go take a look at the NASDAQ 100 or the Tech 100 product. All right. There's Tech 100 or the NASDAQ 100. And you can see it's up at all-time highs again. The V bottom as usual as it flies along. What else can we say about that? Did the sound go in and out again? I did hear it at one point louder. Okay, there we are. So, we got our V bottom going on as usual with the stock market. And now we're at all-time highs on the NASDAQ 100 as we speak. And what else is going on there? Let's take a look at it on the... let's see, not there. Let's go over to here. Let's see, where are we? Right there. Let's take a look at it. And there it is right there at the very top. There's the NASDAQ 100. It's, as I said, marching along well above all-time highs. And as we started off the webcast and talking about the idea that there's just not enough inventory out there anymore. Just like when you see a wide bid and offer. There just isn't enough inventory for the markets to buy other things. So everybody's stuck buying the same things because, these money managers, most of them, if a money manager is plus right now by, I don't know, something like 15 or 20%, you know that they're a good money manager. If they are down for the year, you know that you should go find somebody else. And that's pretty much what it comes down to. Because it was pretty easy to see. We talked about it here. You can go look at our mid-February webinars. We're telling everybody to sell calls and buy puts, put collars on if you're nervous, the whole bit. Markets fall 35%. And I even have one of my best friends in the market. He's known as the beast of Wall Street when it comes to derivatives. And he calls me. He's telling me he's buying put spreads. And I said, why are you buying put spreads? You have way too much equity, to be buying put spreads. You need to be putting collars on. Yeah, I know. I should have been doing it. So, I mean, even the best of the best do stupid things. But he was out there, I think he was stepping up. I think he was trying to convince me that we're in a bear market now. He calls me up and starts telling me about, looks like we'll know if we're in a bear market if this happens and if that happens. And I'm like, bear market? They just sold the market down 35% because the government shut down the world economy. How do you equate this with a bear market? I mean, you got to be pretending that the New York Stock Exchange is in business and running 75 to 85% of the whole world market again. I mean, right now, the New York Stock Exchange now on a given day can trade, I don't know, like 10% or 12% of the world, of the U.S. market. That's all it does. At one time, it was almost 100%. At one time, right before options were legalized, it was up in the 80s and the 90s. 90%, 93%. Once options were listed, you can see the New York Stock Exchange only controlled about 78, 75%, 79%. And as time went on and on and on, and now we're at a point where the New York Stock Exchange is running about 15%, I could say. Yesterday, I looked at the numbers, and it was like, this might have been like 22%, you know. So, I mean, those days of thinking of fundamentals and thinking that all this stuff is governed by old-fashioned ideas of pre-1975 are really a killer when it comes to profits. Definitely a killer, that's for sure. All right, what else we got to say about it here? I guess that's about it. We're at the all-time highs. Let's see where do we have our numbers? I don't know did we put our numbers in there on that yet? Let's do that. So before we shut the broadcast off, unless someone has a question, we're going to put the weekly sell number in there for the NASDAQ right there. And that is 97.28. So let's do that. 97.28. Let's do it like that. And on the S&P 500, where we were just looking at it, let's go back to on J4X. It's bigger and clearer right there. And you can see it has gotten up relatively high. But we're not at all-time highs. There's all-time highs right there. We didn't expect to see that make it to all-time highs yet, but it's going to keep on climbing. We're looking at 31.18 as a weekly sell, and I think our low on Dukascopy is 31.94. So it's not going anywhere either. 31.18. Am I right there? Yeah, 31.18. Okay, excellent. So there are the sell numbers there for the week. Closes underneath those. We go, that 10 becomes a 1 in the sell box. That's how that works. All right, here we go. Doc from North America saying Arrivederci. Catch you all on the flip side tomorrow for Thursday.